Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. This is a video. I'm going to show you how to make some 3 cheese stuffed shells with beef sauce. So first I'm going to take some garlic butter and I'm going to put that in my pan. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to that, and I'm going to start sauteing my chopped onion and green pepper. I use about half of each green pepper and onion for this. I'm going to saute them until they're softened and the onions become translucent, and this takes about a couple of minutes. But once that's done, I'm just going to transfer my onions and peppers to another bowl and set that to the side. So now I'm going to brown my ground beef. I'm going to, of course, break this up with my spatula, and I'm going to just brown it how you usually brown ground beef. As you can see, there is a little bit of fat left in the pan, so I'm just going to drain that out, and now I have my meat. So now I'm going to add in my choice of tomato sauce. I think I used tomato, onion, and garlic, or basil, or whatever. I added a little bit of water into it to get the rest of the tomato out of there, and also add a little bit to thin out our sauce a little bit. I'm going to add in our green peppers and onions that we sauteed earlier, stir that up, and now I'm going to start seasoning my sauce. I'm adding in some minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic or whatever you like. So now I'm going in with onion powder, garlic powder. I'm using some fresh crushed red pepper flakes, some Italian seasoning. I'm going in on the Italian seasoning because this is an Italian dish, and now I'm going to give that a good stir and make sure everything is combined. I'm going in with some more Italian seasoning, and now I'm going to start boiling my water and adding in some olive oil and salt. This is going to be our water, of course, to boil our pasta shells. I have the jumbo pasta shells, and as you can see, it says cook it for 14 to 15 minutes, so that's what I'm gonna do. So now I'm rinsing off my spinach because I will be adding spinach into my meat sauce and also into my ricotta mixture. So I sauteed the spinach for the ricotta mixture in this pan, and I added in the spinach straight into the sauce. Now that my pasta is drained, I'm just going to finish up my sauces, and now I'm going to start my ricotta mixture. I have one of the big, think 32 ounce thing of ricotta, so I'm using about half of it, which is 16 ounces. I'm adding in some grated Parmesan cheese. I'm adding in the shredded Parmesan cheese as well, and some shredded mozzarella. I'm adding in some onion powder and garlic powder. I'm adding in some black pepper. I'm adding in some Italian seasoning as well into this mixture, and a little bit of salt. I'm going to add in my sauteed spinach that I just finished up, and I'm going to give this all a good stir. I would say for next time, if you want to, you could chop up your spinach before sauteing it, or you can chop it up afterwards with some scissors if you don't want the long leaves in there, but I didn't really mind it. So now I'm transferring my ricotta mixture into a plastic Ziploc bag just so it's easier for piping, like a piping bag. I'm going to dump all of that in there, seal the air out of it, and I am going to cut the tip off of it when I'm ready, like this. Now that we have prepared all of the separate components of this dish, we can start to assemble. I am now going to cut off the tip of the plastic bag. I'm not cutting it too big, just so the opening is not too large. I'm going to now start to fill and pipe the ricotta filling into my cooked and drained pasta shells, and this is pretty much all there is to it. If I had a larger baking dish, that probably would have accommodated all of my shells into one pan, but I'm just going to keep filling until this baking dish is done. And I did change the arrangement just so I could try to get as much fitting into one pan as possible. So I'm going to continue to fill my shells, and this is one pan filled, and I did have to get another baking dish because this made a lot of shells. I would say that the serving size for this recipe would probably be maybe 6 to 8 servings. We ate this by itself with no additional vegetables or garlic bread or anything, but if you add garlic bread, this could easily feed probably 8 to 10 people. It was a lot with the full box of shells, and I used a lot of ricotta and all of this. But now I'm just going to start adding on my sauce. I've told you pretty much throughout this whole video that I had a dilemma with all of my shells fitting into the pans that I had, so I kind of did end up layering, but you'll see that in a second. I'm going to continue adding on my sauce to my second baking dish full of shells. And I did have a few leftover shells, so I am about to start layering them on top. Kind of like lasagna. It takes away from the presentation of the dish, but of course not the taste. It just makes it more plentiful and each dish is more full. So I ended up doing that to both of the baking dishes, and now I'm just going to top it with some shredded mozzarella cheese, and I also sprinkled on a little bit of shredded Parmesan cheese onto both dishes. After I finish sprinkling both the mozzarella cheese and the shredded Parmesan cheese on top of both dishes, I am now going to sprinkle on a little bit of Italian seasoning, and we can get ready to throw these puppies into the oven. As you can see, I'm just showing you an up close before, and this is an after. After it came out the oven, the cheese was melted and the shells got a little bit of nice crisp on them. Everything came together well. I believe I baked this at 350 for about 25 minutes, and now I'm just going to scoop up some and serve it to you. As I told you before, since I layered some of the shells, it's not going to be as, distinct plating as regular, stuffed shells, but it's still literally going to taste bomb. So I don't know about y'all, but this look good to me. You can see the spinach, the beef, the ricotta, all the cheeses, the jumbo stuffed shells filled with all of the goodness. This is a good, wholesome, hearty meal. Obviously not a dietitian, but I feel like it has carbs, it has protein, it has some veggies in it, and it has some fat in it. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You try out this recipe. Please let me know what you think, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share. Peace.